Hey, this is Fortune Travels. Welcome to my channel. As you can see, the setting and the video is just different, and my hair is different. Honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my hair today, so this is why it's like this for this moment. Welcome. So yesterday, or I guess like 2 days ago now, my laptop broke. And with like my phone situation, aka the camera not working, it's gonna be a little difficult for me to post videos on YouTube for the next like month, maybe month and a half, depending on when my laptop gets fixed. So I figure I would use this opportunity to change pace a little bit and actually talk about my spiritual journey, because I have released a lot of videos that talk about the places I've been to and the places I have traveled to that kind of helped further my spiritual journey. But I never really like told you guys like where it started, how it started, and just the journey that it has taken me to this point where now in a week I'm going to Nepal. So I figure, yeah, I will take this opportunity to do that. And for the next probably like month, I'm just gonna give you chapters of my spiritual journey. So in this episode, we're going to focus on the start, which I mean, really, I think my spiritual journey kind of started when I had this awakening in like 2017. And oof, that's like so long ago. But really, like after I had graduated college and had worked in the environmental field for like a year and a half, I just realized that like that wasn't for me. And what I really wanted to do, what my heart wanted to do, was to just create music, create art, create videos and film. I worked with a filmographer that year. Like I really just dove into creating, because this is what fuels me. It's what gives me joy. It's what like rejuvenates me. I also got into like astrology at that point too, and I did some astrology readings that helped me kind of, I guess, motivate me in a way to like pursue my music even more. Because music is something that has always been really words. Music has always been something that has been so dear to my heart. And actually, like, I remember, like, when I was a little girl, like 7 years old, and I don't even know if my dad really remembers this, to be honest, but I remember like, watching the TV. I think I was watching Beyonce, and I was like, Dad, I wish there was an artist that, created music, but also, like, helped empower people. Okay, obviously it wasn't in those words, but this is me summing it up, okay? Yeah, and I think from there, I kind of just like didn't believe that I could be that person, but believed that there could be a person to do this. And then finally in 2017, I really just like fast forward, I don't know, 20 something years later, maybe less actually. No, I guess less. But anyway, fast forward to when this little girl is now 23. And yeah, I have some videos too from that year that I never really released, but where I talk about how I want to be like a revolutionary musician. I want to empower people through my music, and the way that I empower people has changed a lot in the past, like 23, now I'm 28, 5 years. Are not really changed, I guess, like, what's the right word for it? It's like I'm more like sure of myself in what I want to deliver to the people in terms of my music. So 2017 was the first starting point for my spiritual journey. And I got into music, I got into astrology, I started to do astrology readings too. And then at some point I kind of stopped, because honestly I feel like astrology, I just feel like, I mean, obviously, like, there's nothing wrong with it, and people do like use astrology to guide them, but I started to realize that like really, like, you don't need to be aware of I don't know, like, how do I explain this? I'm really trying to find like the correct way to say this so that nobody argues, but I feel like at the end of the day, people are going to argue with what I say about astrology. I think astrology is good to an extent, and I feel like some people can't use astrology and abuse it. And there's also some people who get addicted to astrology to the point where they're like looking up not just their horoscope. We can put the horoscope stuff to the side because I feel like that stuff can be like boo-boo sometimes. But I'm saying like actually looking at your chart and like looking at, oh, where's my career going to be? Where's my this year? How's this year going to go? Like you can really, really see a person's soul through their birth chart. It's really crazy. But yeah, so it's like I just stopped believing in astrology. Let's just put it like that. I mean, not believing in it, but I stopped depending on it to see my future, and instead I started living, because I feel like really at the end of the day, that's where you're gonna get the best bang for your buck, I guess, when it comes to like living. I don't know where I'm going with that, but that's what I'm gonna say. Excuse me. But yeah, so I stopped astrology, and then I got this like astrology reading that was like, hey, you know, oh, this was in like fast forward, like 2019. Wow, I'm really like skipping through. But fast forward 2019 in the fall, I got a reading that said, hey, like this upcoming month, this was like in August, this upcoming month, you're gonna start traveling, and this lifestyle that you have, it's gonna be set for you for the next 15 years. And I was like, there's no way. That's crazy. That seems impossible. How am I going to travel for the next 15 years? Like, that seems so out there. And, like, very, like, impossible, right? Because, like, there's money, there's a job. And at this point in 2019, there was no remote jobs. All right, there was remote jobs, but it wasn't, like, the thing like it is now. So, anyway, so then 2019, August, my car breaks down. I stopped paying, like, car payments. In terms of like fixing my car, I stopped paying for gas. I started using public transportation, and I saved up enough money to go travel to visit family in France. And really nothing spiritual really happened when I went to France, and when I went to the south of France to visit my family. But I will say that it was like another opportunity for me to go inward and like know myself. And I feel like traveling for me is that, like, whenever I solo travel, I'm just going inward. I'm writing. I'm, you know, really diving into my creative side, because like sometimes there's like nothing better to do when you're by yourself. So it was a really great opportunity. I went to Italy for the first time that year, and it was only for 3 days because the girl was on a budget, and it was off season, and it was in San Remo, which to Italians, I'm pretty sure they know where that is, but to everybody else, they probably don't know where San Remo is because it's not that popular at all. But it was just a great experience. You know, I ate amazing food every day. I woke up with my espresso. You know, I drank wine at almost every meal except for breakfast. Okay, let's just, you know, okay. And I would go to the beach, get wine. Like, oh my God, it was amazing. And I just really like went inward and wrote and created and made some really just empowering songs during that moment. So then I spent a month in France. I went back to Seattle. I worked for 4 months, and I guess like when I went to France, I kind of realized like, I needed to save money. I don't know why. I didn't know why at the moment, but I was like, I just need to save money. This is like September of 2019. I was like, I need to save money. I don't know what I'm saving for. But when I went back to Seattle, it was like, I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I'm not going out. Like, I was like, I just need to buckle down, focus on my music, focus on practicing, focus on composing, and just do that. And I didn't know what I was doing that for. I didn't know why, but it was just the time to buckle down. And so I did that for about 4 months. Let me see, like October, November, December, January, February. So I guess 5 months. I just moved to Seattle, got a room to rent, and how did I get around? It's crazy. I didn't even have a car. Like, I don't know. I guess I used the public transportation, but like, as most people know in the States, it's not like the rest of the world. Like, it's like for example, let me give you an example. To go from the place I was living at to like one of the artist events I would go to every week, it would take 20 minutes by car. Now by bus, it takes an hour and a half. The same distance, but almost three times, maybe 3 to 4 times. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math right now, but almost 3 times as long to get there. I mean, it's just craziness. So that was insane. But anyway, so I buckled down for 4 months, 5 months, whatever. And then finally in March, it was my friend's 30th birthday. So she booked tickets. She booked a whole venue to go to Puerto Rico for her birthday in the beginning of March. So at this point, we already knew COVID was happening. Oh, and also just like tidbit, during the 5 months, I also like really focused on manifesting, and every morning for about 80 days, I wrote down my manifestations in my journal. This is kind of like really important. One of the big ones that manifested relatively quickly was that I wanted to be healthy, happy, and whole. Okay, so let's get back to the story. So then we go to Puerto Rico, and literally halfway through the week-long birthday bash, COVID hits the States, and it's crazy. Everything shuts down. We're in Puerto Rico. They're imposing like martial law. It's really crazy. Like, and I'm talking like people can only go to the grocery store like 2 or 3 days a week. Like, it's like they have specific days that specific people or specific like license plates can go to the grocery store. It was really strict, really insane. But yeah. Okay, so it's been like, what, almost 12 minutes? I'm going to pause there. That is the first chapter of my spiritual journey, was starting to, like, get into my creativity, getting into astrology, getting into spiritualism. Oh, I also tried to open my eye. Let me just put a little ash. I tried to open my third eye. And I did, but not, like, I guess to the full extent, I feel like, to be like completely honest. Yeah, so then I dove into the spirituality. I went to France, went inward, realized stuff about myself that I didn't know before. And then I went to Puerto Rico for my friend's 30th birthday, and COVID hit. And in the next chapter, I'm going to talk about basically, let me see. Yeah, what happened when COVID hit, what I decided to do. Because I was not another country, but I was in Puerto Rico, okay, when COVID hit. Everybody was trying to, like, abandon ship, going into their rooms, you know, like, staying inside. And I was really thinking, like, should I go back to the state? Should I go back to Seattle? Or should I just stay here? Tune in next week to find out. Okay, peace.